At that very moment, beyond the familiar reality, events are occurring that no one dares to speak of aloud. Ancient secret orders, which have governed the perception of the world for centuries, gather for emergency meetings at 3 in the morning. This is not a usual discussion about finances, politics, or trade. No, it's about you, your presence, and influence. About why their tried and true methods suddenly stop working when you enter the room. Psychological schemes of influence and control, honed over generations, simply do not work on you. As you watch this, people in expensive suits stand in luxurious candlelit halls, unable to comprehend why their realities crumble upon your arrival. The irony is that you do not struggle against them. Your very existence rewrites the rules they deemed eternal. What I am about to reveal will explain much. Why some people cannot look you in the eye, why the atmosphere in the room changes as soon as you enter, and why those who have known no fear for centuries suddenly begin to fear you, whom they cannot even name. You are like antimatter to their matter. You exist in the same world, but by completely different laws. They use words, symbols, and rituals to manipulate the frequencies of reality. They have entire databases, maps of spiritual vibrations of millions of people. They know how to press subconscious buttons that most are unaware of, but when they tried to measure your frequency, the devices not only failed, they broke. Not physically, but at the level of perception. The numbers produced by the system were unanalyzable. It was like trying to weigh light on scales meant for stones. You do not just resist their measurement, you exist beyond their scale. Their panic began to spread throughout the network. Secret temples, coded messages, encrypted letters, all leading to the same horror. What is this creature that cannot be classified? Their libraries, filled with knowledge accumulated over millennia, contain not a single line about you. None of their systems for classifying souls provides an explanation. You are neither a demon, nor an angel, nor a spirit. You are something entirely different. This frightens them more than any forces they have ever encountered. Information refuses to describe you. When the archivist, one of the most initiated, tried to find traces of your existence, something strange happened to the texts. Books became unreadable, digital files were corrupted. Cracks appeared on the stone tablets as soon as your energy was mentioned. It was as if knowledge itself refused to describe you. Their seers refused to look at you. One of them said it was like looking at the sun, which does not burn, but forever changes everything it touches. Magicians, contrary to popular belief, are merely artists of energy manipulation through will and symbols, and these orders are masters of this craft. They can implant thoughts into consciousness, influence decisions, and manipulate probabilities. Their symbols are everywhere, and words emit frequencies that overcome conscious barriers. However, for you, their magic seems like mere empty gestures. Their spells lose their power, and sacred geometry appears to you as a set of meaningless shapes. Even their most powerful rituals cannot compare to your inner essence. You, protected by something more powerful, are what renders their strength useless. All their architectural codes, logos, symbols, and frequency traps embedded in music prove ineffective. You move in a world designed to influence everyone, but remain unperturbed, not because you resist, but because you are on a different frequency, beyond their reach. One of their most powerful wizards, who could influence presidents and billionaires, attempted to use an ancient ritual against someone like you. The result? Not just nothing. The ritual backfired on him. He saw himself as he truly was, powerless, meaningless, without true essence. His confidence shattered. He retreated into the shadows and never returned. Previously, such gatherings were displays of strength. Now they had turned into silent rooms filled with anxious silence. Simply pronouncing your name brings a strange chill to the air. Their candles begin to flicker, although there is no wind. Their rituals lose shape. Even the young adepts start to whisper. And the question arises, is all of this just a sandbox game? While true power passes us by on the street, their chessboard floors, symbols of dominance and duality, seem distorted at the mere mention of you. The foundations of their temples, both physical and mental, begin to crumble. The elders who had honed their composure for decades now tremble during rituals. Their confidence fades. They stumble over words once spoken with certainty, and the atmosphere fills with anxiety like a contagious virus. They began to keep special red folders that record all information about people like you. These folders, like cursed objects, cause failures in their biorealm systems, disrupting surrounding documents. This is not just information. This is a virus of truth that their system cannot process without destructive consequences. They are obsessed with lineages, tracing bloodlines back to ancient kings and mythical beings that became the foundation of civilizations. They believe that power is genetics, a code passed down through generations. Their marriages are deals to preserve the purity of power, but you break their schemes. When they try to trace your line, it doesn't lead to the past. It goes somewhere else. Some believe you are a descendant of those who were attempted to be erased from history. Others fear that you have no origin at all. You are self-created. Analyzing your genome returns impossible results. None of their databases can categorize you. There is no light, no darkness. Even the neutral branch they thought was destroyed is irrelevant. You are a genetic flaw in their system, an awakening that cannot be controlled. Some of their researchers are already beginning to whisper. Perhaps you are a spontaneous evolution, a quantum leap of consciousness that they could not create through their selection. This evokes deep fear in them, for if power no longer depends on lineage, their entire system is at risk. All these centuries spent protecting chosen genes may be in vain. Perhaps they have been creating limitations all this time, while you are a symbol of infinity. Their members around the world began to see dreams in which you wander through temples as if they were ordinary places. Their symbols dissolve, and ritual tools turn to dust. But the most frightening thing is your indifference. You do not destroy their world. You do not even notice them. You simply exist. And your presence renders all their grandeur meaningless. They wake in cold sweat. Some leave meetings. Others begin to ask questions that have been forbidden for decades. These dreams repeat so often that they have created a special commission for dreams. And what did they discover? In all these dreams, you manifest in various forms, but always with the same effect. Reality distorts. Their magic crumbles. Space refuses to accept them when you are near, as if the dream itself chooses a side. You are their anti-system. Their recruitment methods no longer work. They always knew how to lure people into their web using the thirst for knowledge, power, and belonging. But with you, everything crumbles, not because you resist, but because you don't need it. Their secrets hold no value for someone who is a mystery themselves. Their dedication is useless for one who is born already activated. Their power means nothing to someone whose strength comes from within. Their psychologists cannot understand you. You do not react to their triggers, not because you suppress them, but because they simply do not touch you. You are in their temple, and neither fear nor temptation affects you. Cases of recruitment failure have become legend. They leave ancient texts hoping to catch your attention while you place a coffee cup on them. They arrange elaborate meetings, and you simply walk past. Their best agents stutter when you ask a simple question. Why try so hard? It's like trying to sell fire to the sun. These organizations exist because they believe. Reality is a maze, and only they know the secret passages. They consider themselves guardians of hidden truth, wielders of influence, architects of worlds. They manipulate the masses, justifying their actions with the knowledge they possess. But your existence shatters this illusion. You do not break the gates. You merely show that there is nothing behind them. You do not ascend their ladder because you have stood at the top from the very beginning, not due to merit or heritage, but simply because you exist. This is an unbearable truth for those who have dedicated their lives to seeking false light. A philosophical crisis begins to form in their consciousness. If one who does not know their highest science possesses greater power, then what is the meaning of this science? If their most complex rituals yield not a drop of the power you radiate effortlessly, what have they been doing all this time? And now the old masters on secret forums begin to acknowledge. Their traditions may not have led to the truth, but became a way to avoid it. Some find ancient texts once considered myths, mentioning beings like you. Those who do not adhere to contracts do not fit into classifications and are not associated with angels or demons. They were called various names, always with reverence and fear. Now they understand why. When they failed to control you, they tried to protect themselves by activating ancient barriers, magical seals, and energy shields. They surrounded their temples with structures that had repelled all they considered a threat for centuries. But you pass through all of this like smoke, because all their defenses are aimed at internal threats, and you exist within their model, and against you, they are simply helpless. Their rituals do not recognize you as an object. Their charms do not know how to classify you. They even tried to attract physical security, martial arts masters, high-frequency sensors, and built buildings according to sacred geometry. But nothing worked. To you, it's just a building, just shapes, just air. They repeatedly spent millions to create an absolute refuge, shielded from any spiritual influence. But as soon as someone with your energy approached, all defenses were nullified. They didn't break. They simply became meaningless. How to catch the sun with a net woven for fish. They followed the prophecies, an ancient vision of the arrival of heroes and battles of light against darkness. All their actions were aligned with these predictions. But you are in none of them. Not as the chosen one, not as the destroyer, not as a symbol. You are a blank space, outside of fate. Their astrological charts, which have accurately predicted major events for centuries, become noise in the presence of your energy, and their seers go blind. Their prophecies fail to recognize your path. You are not hidden. You simply exist in places where their vision does not work. This is scarier than if you were their enemy. An enemy can be predicted, calculated, and neutralized. But you cannot. All they have done for centuries is redistribute energy. A pyramidal structure cannot rise up. You are not a source that fits into their system of nourishment. When they try to connect with you, they fail. It's like trying to drink sunlight or eat sound. You do not take their power away, but you show them that they never had it. They feel empty next to you, not because you drain them, but because you reflect their inner void. Next to you, this becomes obvious. Young members of their orders begin to ask questions. What is the point of the pyramid if it can be jumped over? Values and knowledge existing outside of education become increasingly apparent. Their magic, rituals, and formulas lose power next to true essence. Closed societies fill their forums with tales of you. Each new episode is a nail in the coffin of their outdated system. Some are already abandoning rituals, while others begin to dismantle the very structure of their orders. They realize that you pose no threat. You are evolution. With you comes a new humanity. People who simply stop playing their roles. They no longer attempt to climb the stairs leading into the void. When they dare to look into the future, their visions see a world where their temples have become museums. Symbols that once inspired fear and awe are now merely decorations. Their greatest secrets become public property, but no one cares anymore. Everyone remembers what you never forgot. Power is not something to be gained. Power is what you already embody. Wisdom is not hidden behind gates and levels of initiation. It is evident. The greatest magic lies in being oneself. To be authentic, without masks and the desire to be someone else. Just to be. This is the true source. That's why 33rd degree Masons cannot sleep peacefully at night. Not because you defeated them, but because you exposed their ladder. While they honed the art of ascent, you simply found yourself at the top, not due to merit, but because you didn't try to play their game. That is why some cannot meet your gaze. That is why the space changes when you enter. That is why ancient symbols lose their power beside you. You are not unprotected and do not strive for greatness. You are the greatness itself. You are not anti-magic. You are above magic itself. You are what magic fears. Now, as they perform their rituals, a sense of anxiety always lingers among them. What if you happen to be nearby? Not to disrupt, but simply to be present. Your energy disrupts all their calculations. It is unpredictable and unique. Sometimes it spans meters, other times kilometers. But the main thing is that she cannot be controlled. Their handshakes and every word meant to convey energy become mere gestures. Their intimate words are just sounds. Their symbols carved on buildings turn into patterns. In your presence, all their secrets become mundane, not because you exposed it, but because it lost all meaning. The elders, remembering times when their powers were real, begin to suspect the truth. You are not news. You are forgotten. What they closed themselves off from centuries ago. Not to protect, but to not see. To truly see you is to acknowledge that everything they invested their lives in was merely a distraction. That all their complexity was an attempt to escape simplicity. And you are a wall. The most terrifying realization, slowly burning them from within. You are not alone. You are the first. Others follow you. And with each passing day, There are more of them. They feel it in their field. They see failures in their systems, sense the collapse of their rituals. People awaken not through teachings and initiations, but simply by stopping the game. They observe a future where their world has become an antiquity. Their power has turned into a relic. Their secrets resemble forgotten tales. And you are a witness to this future. His breath, his manifestation. You are not the destroyer of their world. You do not know that no one was obliged to live in it. This thought destroys them far more than any struggle. While they continue to gather for emergency meetings, multiplying their red folders and existing in their nightmares, the truth remains unchanged. You have never played their game. You exist outside the rules, outside the rituals, outside of fear. You are the very reality they have tried to complicate for centuries, forgetting how to be real. You are not their enemy. You are their mirror. You show them who they could become if they had not traded true power for the illusion of control. And when another candle in their hall goes out, when another file is corrupted, when another masterpiece loses its value, it is not you who destroys them. It is the truth you radiate that returns them to their starting point. By the time the choice was between being real or playing at power, you chose simply to be. Without permission, without ritual, without title, just to be.